Hi, my beautiful artists. I hope you all are having a beautiful, phenomenal morning, evening, night, whatever it is. I want you all to understand discernment a little bit better than what you probably know it to be. So, discernment is in the dictionary, if I'm not mistaken, it genuinely means the ability to judge well. So, in other words, your judgment. And honestly, this is not as easy as it seems, especially when we are surrounded by people we love, things that we love. And sometimes our own judgment gets in the way because sometimes we don't look at the whole picture and we just go based on what we see on the level surface. So, in other words, for example, if you want to share your dreams with someone, you need to have really good judgment. You need to have phenomenal discernment. And I only say that because some people are genuinely excited for you, are genuinely happy for you, genuinely care for you. However, you do have those people who claim to be there for you, who claim they want to see the best for you, who claim, yes, they'll be all in, and they're not. Whether it's subconsciously or if it's consciously, you'll know. You'll know. And honestly, pay attention to your body at the same time because your body will tell you to. Like, if you get like a pit feeling in your stomach, you gotta pay attention to that. Is it a good feeling in your stomach? Is it a bad one? Do you feel like you're about to throw up, or do you feel like it's much deeper? So for me, for example, I know when I get that gut feeling, and especially if I get that feeling like I'm about to throw up, nope. That means either something's coming or something ain't right. And sometimes I'll feel it like a couple days before. But again, that's the discernment coming in. That's the judgment coming in. And that's when you have to be keen about it, because discernment can look so different for everybody. It can be, for example, a ringing of the ear. It can be, like I said, a gut pit feeling in your stomach. It can be as simple as, like I said, something just not feeling right, something feeling off. And sometimes you will have people that are very good at hiding their feelings and are very good at putting on a facade and a persona that is so hard to understand that discernment. And honestly, it hurts too, because sometimes these people have been in your lives forever. These are the people you call your family and friends sometimes. And that in itself is a hard feeling. It's a hard place to be at because you want to believe these people. You want to trust these people so wholeheartedly. And sometimes, as much as you want to believe in that, as much as you want to care, as much as you don't want it to be true, you need to sit down with that and realize, is this person, place, or thing for my best interest? And learning your discernment is going to be key. It's going to be key in ways that you don't understand. For example, before starting this video, I actually was starting a video with a different topic. But for some reason, I kept having this feeling the whole day. Discernment. It popped up a couple of hours ago, just the word discernment. And I kind of brushed it off. I meditated. Like I said, I hit the record button and I was doing a different video, which I had to delete altogether. Because as soon as I was starting that video, one of the words that came out of my mouth was discernment. That is me knowing that clearly that video was not meant to be. The video that was meant to be is this one, the one that I'm sitting here talking to you about, which is judgment, discernment. Like I said, discernment is just knowing your judgment very well. And it doesn't just pertain to people. It pertains to places, things as well. So if you're applying for a couple jobs and you're just like, I'm gonna apply for this one even though I don't really feel it, that's your judgment right there. You're not feeling it, it ain't for you. Don't even bother with it. If you get that feeling where you're like, I'm confident about this one, and you apply and you leave it alone because you know that's your job, somehow it works out. It's your job. And then you end up with a call. And then it's not until after that, then the discernment still goes on. You go through the interview process. If you're feeling it, great. If you're not feeling it, then again, that's when your discernment comes in and you're like, okay, I was excited for this because of what I saw and what I read. However, now that I'm here and I'm interviewing, I don't feel that way anymore. That is okay too. That is your discernment telling you and guiding you to something that you knew was right for you. However, tables have turned. And the tables have turned maybe because it was in the right path, just not meant to be in that place. Maybe it was a similar job or job title, just not at that place, somewhere else. You know? Just like you're driving down the road and you don't necessarily have a plan of where you're going, but you just want to be out and about today. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm going to just go here. I'm going to go to this place. That is your discernment. That is your judgment, because maybe you weren't meant to go to where you were going to originally. Maybe you were meant to go to where you are going at the moment because your discernment kicked in, because you don't know what would have happened. It's kind of also like when you leave a little late, or you're constantly like dropping things or dropping your keys, so you're running a bit behind. At first, you're kind of upset, irritated in the moment, because it's like, I'm just trying to get out the door. I'm trying to go do X, Y, and Z. Only to realize that maybe a couple of minutes later, you go down the road and you realize there's an accident. That was a different type of discernment. That was the universe literally keeping you from doing that, so that wouldn't be you in the accident. And I know it's hard. It's hard to be so keen when it comes to your judgment. It can be really hard. And a lot of us do think that we have really good judgment, and we don't. And I mean that with so much love. It just means that we think we know what's best for us. However, you're not making the best choices for yourself. Again, there's nothing wrong. Listen, this is how we learn. This is how we grow. And I honestly do believe the more you sit down with it, the more you kind of play with it, the more you kind of test it, the easier it gets. Just like when you want to date, listen, I honestly do not like getting into the topic of love and dating and some more, because everyone is so different, okay? Every person is so different. And every situation is so different. And that's why it's very keen when you do date, because not everyone has the right intentions. Some people just want to, go to bed, lay with each other, keep it moving. And some people genuinely want something, like they want long term. And you might not be ready for that. And that is okay too. And then you also do have people who want the long term but don't want commitment. You have, like I said, there are so many different scenarios when it comes to dating. Y'all, it's kind of a iffy topic to talk about, It's a lot to think about, to trust someone with your ideas, your heart, your anything and everything, your values, your home, your business, like all of these things require you to have good discernment. They require you to fully understand yourself, because it ties in with what you will and will not allow. It also ties in with that. And knowing your discernment will allow you to be able to pick the right people for your business opportunities. It will also allow you to see where you stand in relationships, where you stand in finances, anything. And I know it sounds kind of crazy because you're like, girl, listen, discernment is key to a lot of things. Your self-worth, whether if that's your finances, whether if that's your heart, whether if that's your kids, whether if that's your home, your car, all of that. Especially when it comes to the company you keep with you. That is when your discernment needs to be at its finest. Your judgment call on that needs to be at its finest. Because honestly, nowadays, it's really hard. It's really hard to genuinely have people around you that genuinely care and genuinely want to see the best for you. A lot of people show the right things or say the right things and making it seem like they are genuinely being a genuine person. And sometimes our discernment is not the best because of the simple fact that we allow words to sway us. We allow words to persuade us. And words with no actions don't mean shit. I said it. Okay? Listen, you can sit here and you can talk pretty to me. You can talk so phenomenal to me. But if your actions ain't matching, something's missing. That's when your discernment needs to come in. You can't allow talking to your space just because they sound pretty and they sound nice. And I'm not one to judge. You do what you want to do with your life. But when it comes to discernment, you really, 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 really need to sit down and see where it lies. Some of these people don't want the best for you. And that's just me being completely raw honest. Some of these people claim and will sit here and make you feel like they genuinely mean and they genuinely care. And they don't. And they don't. And sometimes it's also the thought of not wanting to be alone, not having nobody. That plays a key role in a lot of our discernment too, because as human beings, we want to be liked. We want to be with people. We are human beings. We desire that social aspect. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. However, that's when you also need to be very careful because you can't allow people into your circle, into your space, simply for the fact that you're lonely. Simply because you want someone to talk to, or you want someone to sit there and agree with you. You can't. And I genuinely want the best for people. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. I don't care the circumstances. I don't care about the X and Y factors. And I know there's going to be some days that you are going to be extremely alone. There's going to be some days that it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt real bad to not talk to someone. However, that doesn't mean let anybody and everybody in. Not everybody's here to root for you. Some people are here to genuinely pull you down. And that's when you have to be keen on your discernment. That's when you have to trust it at its fully. And honestly, like, just making this video in itself is hard. It's very hard. Like, it has me with a heavy heart right now. Like, I genuinely want to cry because I've been there. I've had people in my circle for years. Okay, sorry about that. I definitely did start tearing up. So yes, I completely understand that. I understand that it's hard to finally come to a realization where you have to let go of people, places, and things because of the fact that your discernment has now pulled you to a different direction. Your discernment has shown you what these people's true colors are and what they are capable of or not capable of doing for you. And although it hurts, it's a beauty in disguise because it will also pull you to the right people, to the right places, to the right knowledge, wisdom, whatever that may look like for you. Like I said, we're in this process of becoming the best versions of ourselves and making it to the top. And with that being said, there's going to be people, places, and things that we cannot take with us. As much as we want them, as much as we love them, but we need to have more love for ourselves than those people, places, and things. So yes, where is your judgment? How good is it? And if you're questioning it, then that means you need to sit there and question it. You need to sit there and question certain people, places, and things. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're not a bad human being. We are a human being. We are a soul inside a 3D body who's genuinely calling out for us. Your soul wants you to recognize yourself because it has loved you through everything, and it's time to do right by it. So yes, I am so sorry that this is a hard one. There's gonna be some times where I make these videos and I am gonna cry because I understand. I've been there. I'm currently going through some of these things too, you know? So I don't say this stuff just to say it. So yes, it's time for us to learn our discernment, our judgment, and we'll get there with time, you know? We'll get there. We'll all learn how to properly navigate our discernment. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your morning, afternoon, night. My beautiful artists, keep creating your art. This was the Art of Discernment, and I hope you guys have a great one. Bye.